Bruce Springsteen. This is the Bruce Springsteen concert. Look at me. I got my gear. I got the T-shirt. I got a hat. See there? I'm ready to go. I'm ready to listen to some Bruce. So here's my seats. There's the stage is right there.
I'll see you in my dreams when all our summers have come to an end. I'll see you in my dreams. We'll meet and live and love again. I'll see you in my dreams. Yeah,
Wow. Wow. I don't know about you guys, but I had a great time. That was amazing. I got my Bruce shirt, I got my Bruce hat, and you can bet your bottom dollar I'll be wearing this tomorrow on the live stream. I'm gonna wear this all week. Yeah, you got that right. I will be wearing it on the live stream, and here it is. Got the shirt, got the hat. Hey everybody, thanks for being here. Today is Saturday, March 23rd already. Wow, March is almost gone already. Can you believe that? Wow. Here it is, the day after Springsteen. Man, I'm still reeling, still basking in the afterglow. I mean, I loved it. I had a great time. I'm glad that you guys who were there could share the experience with me. I realized it was blurry and shaky and not the best sound quality, but I don't know. Hopefully, I think the fun translated or it came through. I was having a good time, and I'm so glad that I went. I mean, I really was kind of hesitant to go, because it costs a couple $100 and everything, and then Another $100 for this accoutrement here, for the, the hat and the shirt. I know it's expensive, but hey, you know what? It's all made in USA. I checked the label. Bruce sells made in the USA. At least the hat. I didn't really check the shirt label, but if the hat's made in USA, it's a good chance the shirt is too. I've had a great time, and I'm glad you guys could be there. And I'm glad I went ahead and I just live streamed the whole damn thing, and now I have that as a little keepsake. That will be in my little personal collection. That video. I wish I had done that. I mean, in 1984 or 85 when I saw Born in USA, or that would have been awesome if I had that footage from the Coliseum, LA Coliseum. But anyhow, it was a great time. I love Springsteen. Maybe, I don't know, maybe some of you do, some of you don't. But I just hope you had a good time nevertheless. And I'm trying to get this to be so there's no edges. Anyhow, so we got a few people in here. Looks like Jackie's here. Hey, thanks for being here. Ichabod Deer is here. He said he fell asleep last night before the concert started. Wow, he couldn't even make it to the opening song, huh? But anyhow, glad you're here. Fancy says never fear. Fancy is here. Yeah, Fancy was there watching along with us. Fancy said it was a great show. It was a really great show. It was everything you would expect out of a Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Granted, like I said, I said last night, Bruce wasn't jumping off any pianos, and things of this nature. But the guy's like 73 or 74 years old, and he sounded great. I think his voice really has never sounded better. I mean, his voice was right on. The band was sharp. They are just a machine. That band. He runs them. They call him the boss. The reason they call him the boss is he don't fuck around. He whips those guys into shape, and he runs them, and he works them, and they know every song frontward and backward. Every song in the catalog plus covers, because he might say, hey, let's do When Doves Cry, or whatever, because they did that one time after Prince died. And they go right into it, because they practice these songs and they know these songs left and right, inside and outside, and they are just awesome band. And everyone was digging it, in the crowd. It was a good time had by all. Fancy, a great show. Ichabod, dear, I am getting dizzy. Yeah, the camera, like I said, I wasn't the best camera work in the world, but I'm glad I did it anyhow. Ichabod Dave. You are now known as Ichabod Dave, by the way. I have hereby christened the Ichabod Dave. 10th Avenue Freeze Out. Yeah, that was in there. Andrew Petrie. Well, I made here for first time. Let's see. Hey, Andrew. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming by. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Let's share the show. And if you would like to subscribe, that'd be awesome. That'd be beautiful. Beautiful thing. Fancy says welcome, Andrew. So you're getting the welcome. Don O'Leary's here. What a great show. Thanks, Sugar John. You are so welcome. The pleasure was all mine. Harry KP, I'm seeing it's spring here too. New blue shoes too. So you got some new blue shoes? As did I. That's what I was trying to say. I'm a little groggy still, folks. I really am kind of groggy from last night. Because you know what I did when I came home? I watched the whole thing all over again. All like 4 hours of that. Because it was a 3 hour, the concert was just about 3 hours exactly. And my total runtime on that video was over 4 hours. And I watched the whole thing again last night when I came home. So I didn't get to bed till like 3 in the morning. Even though I got home, it was like, what time did I get home? Like midnight or something? Or maybe earlier, huh? Because it was before, I think. It was like 11 something, I guess. Francis says it was great. Ichabod Deer. I guess I'll go back to Ichabod Deer since that is what you're going by. I saw Nils Lofgren solo a few times in the 80s, great shows. Yeah, and Nils had a really nice solo on, what song was that, guys? It was Out in the Streets or something, or whatever song. He goes off and does this really crunchy, fucking shreddy solo. Bruce gives Nils about, 5 minutes or something to just show his wares, to show his abilities. And that was a highlight. Francis says, oh yeah. There's Mish. Hello, trucklers. Yes, we are the trucklers. This is a truckler zone. Thanks, Mish, for being here. Let's see. Andrew Petrie. I've fell asleep at concerts before. Maybe it was the hash. That might have something to do with it. And truth be told, I'm ashamed to say I fell asleep at Bruce Springsteen concert in, I think it was 89. I think that was the Tunnel of Love tour at the LA Coliseum, LA Sports Arena. And I had just started working for the post office. I started working in January 2nd, 1988. And it was tour one. Tour one is graveyard shift, basically. And I wasn't really used to it. And I know people say, oh, I'm a night person, I'm a day person, whatever. And I'm just a person. And to me, staying up till 2, 3 in the morning, that was no big deal. If you're watching TV or you're partying or just whatever, I could do that. So you might think of yourself as being a night person because you go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. But believe me, when you go to work at like 11 or 11:30 at night and you don't clock out until 7 or 7:30 or 8 or whatever it was, that's a whole different ballgame. Because going to bed around 2 or 3 in the morning, that's, if you're working way past that, and you're ready. Your body's saying, "Hey, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You need to go to bed now." So anyhow, it was I had a really difficult. I did it for 12 years, and I never really got used to it. But anyhow, I just started working in January of '88, and that concert, I forget when it was, but I don't think it was too long after I had started. Maybe just a few weeks or maybe a month or something. And I went to that concert. And I actually found myself waking up because I had just totally passed out during the concert for I don't know, I think a half an hour or something. And I woke up and I was with my buddy Mike, same guy that I went to the concert, the Born in the USA concert with, because we were both total Springsteen fanatics, And I woke up and everyone around me was all looking at me and laughing, and they probably just thought I was drunk or something, passed out drunk. But I wasn't even drunk. I think maybe had one beer or something. And it was just I told my friend Mike, I go, oh man, I'm sorry, I woke up and I was like, I go, this graveyard shift is killing me, man, So anyhow, I did fall asleep at the Springsteen concert, but it was because of the graveyard shift. I just wasn't used to it. And I was really tired, Mish says, Fancy, how are your feet after all that dancing? So you guys were at home dancing along, huh? Ichabod Deer says, I remember Prince at the George Harrison tribute concert when my guitar gently weeps. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Prince was a great guitarist. We think of, he wrote a lot of great songs and great songwriter and all that, but he could talk about shredding. Yeah, that guy could shred. Jolie says, hi, Andrew Petrie, welcome. Glad you're here. Hey, Jolie, good to see you. Good to see you in the house, at the arena. I guess we're at the arena now. This is the T-Mobile Arena back here in the background from yesterday's concert in Las Vegas, Nevada. Fancy says, where are you taking us next? I don't know. You just never know with old Trucker John. You never know. Just stay tuned. We'll see. Andrew Petrie just subbed. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you so much. We are up to 1,620, I think, subscribers. So that's great. Thank you, Andrew. We're trying to get to 2 million. So we got a ways to go. But I appreciate it. Make sure you share the show. All that good stuff. Bring some more people in here. Ichabod Deer says, I wish I had recordings of all the concerts I went to. Plenty of Grateful Dead shows are on YouTube. That's another thing. Grateful Dead, or what's left of them, with a few added people, are going to be at the Sphere. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe that'll be the next concert. I'll have to look at the ticket prices. I think they're pretty expensive. But maybe we'll do that. Let's see here. We got Chris is here. Hey, Chris, good to see you. Thanks for stopping on in. Make sure you hit that like button for me. And let's see. There's Fancy and Harry KP. Today I say hello to all at Jolie too. So nice of you to include Jolie. Fancy says, I worked that shift for years. Yeah, I did it for 12 years, and eventually I got better where I wasn't just passing out during the day, but still, I never really liked it. I never, I'm more of a, like I say, at that time, I was probably going to bed at, let's say my normal bedtime would maybe be midnight or 1 a.m. or something, and then, so then to work a shift where you're just kind of starting work at around midnight, and it's hard to sleep. Then you have to figure out, okay, should I just go home and go straight to bed? Or should I go home and like stay up for a while? Because that's normally what you do. Like if you work a day shift, you don't just go home and go right to bed. You go in, you take a shower, you have dinner, you watch some TV, you do some stuff around the house or whatever. And then you go to bed, like, whatever, 10, 11, 12 o'clock. But with this graveyard shift, it's like, sometimes I would just go home and go straight to bed. Sometimes I would stay up. I was trying to find the best way, and I could never get into the groove. So, but some people, they say they love it, and they love it fits them. But so everyone's a little different. Chris says, I'm here for the ride at Trucker John. Yeah, right. So it's like a ride along. We're doing a little ride along here in the trucker world. Mish says, Chris, yeah, I laugh it out loud. It's supposed to do this all spring break. Oh, I missed whatever that was about. Something about spring break. Oh, about the rain. Oh, where are you guys at? Because we have had here in Vegas. Now, previous to the last few days, it was kind of, we had a little bit of rain. Like when California gets rain, usually it'll come over here and we'll get some rain. So we had a little bit of rain, little sprinkles, some cooler temperatures were really nice in the 60s. I like the 60s, and then we had some, low 70s, and that was nice. That was really spring-like. But these last couple of days, we've been hitting 80 degrees. And 80 is not, I'm not complaining about 80, really. I mean, but, since these are the warmest days we've had since like last summer, all of a sudden it feels really hot, But yeah, we've been hitting 80 for the last couple of days, and it's pretty nice. It's nice. Nice little breeze, But I think we're supposed to get a little cooling trend coming up here. Not sure if we're getting rain or not, though. But it's been nice. It's been really nice. This is a great time of year in Vegas. Springs are really nice here. I think the springs and falls are really nice. We had a really mild winter this year. Usually our winters are a little colder. But I think the climate change is here, folks, and we're seeing differences every year. It gets weirder and weirder. Fancy says, I never seen one of their concerts. Oh, Grateful Dead, I guess. I never have either, to tell the truth. Other than just some clips, here and there. Andrew Petrie says, I just found out yesterday that Prince wrote Nothing Compared to You. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was Sinead O'Connor's big, giant hit, and it was written by Prince, yeah. Ichabod Deer says, hardly any concerts in Vermont. I have got Saratoga Performing Arts Center in New York. Don O'Leary says T-Mobile Stadium what was the capacity number? I don't really know. I'm just guessing around 20,000, I guess. I never did look it up. I know it was a sellout. It was sold out. But that arena, like for hockey games, it would be different than for a concert, because for the concert they could put seats all down on the floor. So, whatever it is, I don't know. Right around 20,000 probably. I'm sure someone could look it up. Fancy says it's raining in Los Angeles too. Andrew says it's raining here in Vancouver. So up in Vancouver it's raining. Down in LA it's raining. So Fancy, if it's raining in LA, that means we're probably going to get some rain up here in Vegas within the next day or two, probably. We're usually like a day or two behind whatever LA is getting. There's Jolie says hi, Talia 401. Oh, there's Talia. 411. Hi, Mish. I only caught the end of Hal's show today. Well, thank you, Talia, for being here. Thanks for catching the beginning of this show. Good to see you. Hope you give me a subscribe. That would be awesome. And a like. The thumbs up thingy. That would be great. Mish says, Chris, how you doing? Did you make it through the week without your number being called? That sounds a bit ominous. Ominous? Big Hook. Hey, the Big Hook's here. Big Hook, the Big Hook is what I like to call him. As well as in Vancouver. So yeah, we had 2 reports of rain in Vancouver. So we've got Andrew Petrie is up there in Vancouver. Big Hook, Big Hook. Apparently you guys both are in Vancouver. You might be neighbors. You just never know. With all these secret pseudonyms and secret names. You guys might be next door neighbors. So say hi. Mish says Southern Oregon coast, TJ. So Mish is up there in Southern Oregon. Jolie, remind everybody, like, subscribe, and share. And we got Don O'Leary, Andrew Petrie. That's our prince from Minneapolis. Yep. That's right. He was from Minneapolis. My dad was from Minneapolis. As well as basically my whole dad's side of the family. And then they all moved to California. Chris says, Mish, no, I had to go to Cockkill. On Wednesday, I did wind up getting an excuse for the rest of my term of service, so I don't have to go back. What a day that was. Are we talking about jury duty? Maybe? I don't know. Fancy says it was a nice crowd. Yeah, it was a good crowd. David Windler, Rain Sun, SF. I suppose that's San Francisco. What else would it be? But hey, David Windler, thanks for being here. David, you were in there. Were you were watching last night, weren't you? I think. Did you watch the? Were you there at the concert with me last night? I thought I saw your name in there. Anyhow, Andrew Petrie says, Dan O'Leary, I miss him big time. I feel ripped off. Well, just think how he feels. Hey, the dude said, hey, John, just found you. Hey, the dude. Thanks for finding. I'm glad you found me. We're just shooting the shit, talking some Springsteen. I was at the concert last night. Glad I went. I may never see the dude again. I mean, at least not in this, I don't think in this big world tour E Street band. I think this is his last kind of hurrah with going out like that. Not to say he's never going to perform again. He'll probably do stripped down shows and where it's just, him and maybe, like a small band and stuff. But to have the whole E Street band and it just was awesome. All these iconic kind of things that they do, the little poses they do, the things they do during the songs. It was all there. It was all there from the 70s and 80s, and with Little Steven and Max Weinberg on the drums. It was so cool. It was so cool. And if you're a fan, especially if you're a big fan and you've seen them before, and you see all the little things that they do on stage that are just these iconic things that they do. It was really fun and it was awesome. I'm glad I went. I'm so glad that I went. Because I was kind of not going to go because I don't know if I wanted to spend the money and all that stuff, but I think it was money well spent, because if you love a band and you love the music and you love the whole thing, then I guess it's worth it, right? But anyhow, the dude, good to see you. Make sure you give me that thumbs up and like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope you can stay around. Basically, we shoot the shit. You chat, I read the chat back to you. That's basically the show. And sometimes I'll go off on a tangent or two. Sometimes we talk politics. Sometimes we talk, pop culture. Sometimes we talk about social issues. Sometimes we talk about dogs and food and spiders. It's just the wide gamut, wide range of things. Chris says, Misha, I also got news last night that my estranged husband unalived himself. Oh, wow. Whew. Well, Chris, I know he's your ex and all that stuff, but still, that's pretty heavy, pretty heavy. Pretty heavy stuff there. So hope you and your family and everything's okay. You know. Talia 411 gave me that thumbs up. Thank you so much, Talia. I appreciate it. Jackie says it's sunny and 70 in Texas. And right now it's sunny. I believe it's sunny here. I haven't really even been outside yet. And it's about 60. Let's see. I got 69 degrees, but it says it's windy. And it was a little windy yesterday too. And we're supposed to hit a high of 70. So we're 1 degree away from our high, which is about 10 degrees cooler than what it has been in the last few days. So we are kind of in a little cooling trend here. Andrew Petrie says Vancouver Island. Oh my God, Andrew Petrie. I know. You know, people can get a little touchy about their hometowns and if you say it wrong or confuse it. So I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to confuse you with Vancouver City. So you're not neighbors, but you could maybe yell like, "Hey! Hey, Big Hook, it's me, Andrew Petrie. Can you hear me? I'm over here on the island. Yeah, I'm the guy waving. Do you see me? Hey, Big Hook." I don't think he sees me. He's that Big Hook. He's such a snob. Talia 411 says hello from Seattle. All right. Jolie says, "Oh, Chris, so sorry. Hugs." Yeah, no matter what, like the situation was with you, it's probably just the whole deal, you know. Donald Leary says, Andrew Petrie, I live near his high school and the city put purple highway signs near Paisley Park. Well, there you go. A nice little homage. Big Hook says, spring is doing the half and half treatment with global warming. 10 degrees one day, 21 degrees Celsius the next day. Yeah, it's doing some real up and downs, back and forth. One extreme to the other. Dave Windler says, no, first time here. Oh, okay. Well, I saw you, David Windler, somewhere. Oh, I saw you on Nicole, huh? Oh, that's right. You were in the Nicole Sandler chat. And now you're over here. So thank you for finding me and getting over here. I appreciate you. I don't know if you saw, last night's live stream, it should be on replay, or it's going to be coming up on replay, if you want to check out that Springsteen concert. And I know, ahead of time, just warn you, it's a little shaky, it's a little blurry, it's a little, not the greatest quality, but I think it's fun. I guess I think it's fun just because I was there and I love the concert. So, but if you want to check it out, you check it out. But thanks for being here, David. We got Andrew Petrie saying hello. That's beautiful. Oh my God. Chris says, Mish, thank you. I'm still numb and in disbelief. Oh, wow, Chris, you take care, man. Like I say, you're probably in shock, or something. So, yeah, our best wishes going out to you and your family and to get through it, and I mean, I'm glad you're here. Maybe this is be a little distraction for you, just coming in here and looking at this weird dude saying stupid shit. Maybe that'll help for a little bit, to just sort of take your mind off things. I don't. And then of course I keep repeating it, and so how can you take your mind off of it? But yeah, we're all sorry to hear about that. Definitely, everyone in the chat is thinking about you and just sending our best positive thoughts to you and your family. Eileen Ka. I know it's for California. I always like to say Ka. Hiya from wet, cold SoCal. So apparently it's cold and wet down there. And that means it's going to get cold and wet probably up here in Vegas in like a day or so. But thanks, Eileen, for being here. Good to see you again in the chat, into the space here. Chris says we've been at Fancy. We've been separated for a while now, but it is a shock. Yeah, I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're going to be all right, and you will be. But it is a shock. It's got to be a shock to the system. And I'm going to stop talking about it because, I don't need to be, it's supposed to be distracting you, not pounding you with it. Talia says, money well spent if you feed the soul. I think I did. I think that was some good soul feeding last night. Donald Leary says, big hook, hello. We might have major snow Monday. We expect it during March Madness every year. Wow. Jolie says, hey, Eileen, good to see you. Eileen, California. Maybe it should be Eileen SoCo or SoCal or SoCa. Andrew Petrie says, if you won't, I don't know why I'm giving you a bit of an accent. Andrew Petrie, if you want talk about fishing, I guess that'll be okay. Skinnerd. Skinner? Was it? This would be Leonard Skinner? Is that something Leonard Skinner? Is that a song lyric? I don't know. But yeah, I'm not really into fishing, to tell the truth. I've only fished a few times. I really didn't like it. My dad loved to fish. My dad would go out fishing, and I went out with him a few times. I just went out with him just to hang out with my dad, but I never really got into it. Let's see here. Big Hook. The Big Hook says, hi, Jolie. Who's your hoser? Hey, take off to the Great White North. Francis, I'm sure it must be. Prayers going up. Andrew Petrie says, we ride killer whales over to Vancouver. There you go. Chris says, damn, Trucker John, 70s? That's like summer weather here on the Oregon coast. Yeah, well, we're going to just barely hit 70 today, I guess. But we did hit 80 the last couple days. But now we're down to 70. And I think we're going to be down into the 60s in the next few days here for our daytime high. Dave Willis says, Nicole from RR, or Tom, wait, Nicole, Tom, RR. Nicole, Tom Hartman, Randy Rhodes, I guess. Yeah, and I specifically, I think I saw you on Nicole. I think it was Nicole. Because I had mentioned, oh yeah, that's right, because I had mentioned yesterday on Nicole's show, because I know Nicole is a big Springsteen fan, and she had just said, she just saw the concert in Phoenix. So he was there a few days ago in Phoenix. So I just wrote in on her chat. I just said, hey, I'm going to Springsteen. Was it yesterday that I posted that? So I guess I said I'm going to Springsteen tonight. And then Nicole, she sees the chats and she's like, yeah, well, I want a full report and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's where I saw you, Dave. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you came over to check us out over here. We usually on every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And impromptus like last night, because I really wasn't planning on doing a full live stream. I thought maybe I would just do a video, like a few little snippets of video here and there or whatever. And then I started, as I was sitting there, because I got there kind of early, I was sitting in my seat, and I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to go live. And so I just did it, and I'm glad I did, actually. Harry KP says, you made it fun, thanks. I guess you're talking about the concert and stuff like that, I guess. Thanks, Harry KP. Let's see, there's all kinds of emojis. Fancy's got the convoy going. As well as, I believe, a cup of coffee there. Jolie says, my daughter is at Comic-Con and just met Steve from Blue's Clues. Oh, her favorite cartoon when she was little, and sent me pics. So sweet. I'm crying over here. Yeah, and I just saw on Substack maybe, or one of those other ones that I'm trying to get off of X, and so I downloaded like Substack and Threads and all these things, which I still don't think are as good as X or as what Twitter was. But anyhow, I didn't read the story, but I think it was on there that it was just this thing like, Steve from Blue's Clues drops in on something. I didn't say Comic-Con though. It was on some show or something. I don't know. And everybody, I don't know. I forget what the headline was, but it was something about Blue's Clues, dude. And I remember that because I used to watch that with my kids when my kids were little. We'd watch Blue's Clues. So, and everybody loves that little guy, that little Steve guy. Eric Hippie, Blues Clues Reviews. Bonnie Thompson's here. Hello, Bonnie. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. We're just sort of, basking in the afterglow of the Springsteen concert here. Fancy says, I've always wanted to go to Comic-Con. My son went to that a few years ago. I think he was a little disappointed. He'd always wanted to go. And I think he was a little maybe disappointed with, like, it just seemed like a big, he just kind of described it, I think, as being a big money grab type of thing, So, I don't know, but it's fun. A lot of people do the cosplay and I can see how it could be fun. Bonnie Thompson says, oh my God, Jolie, your daughter's a nerd like mine. Donna Leary, Jolie's sweet. My daughter loved Blue's Clues, and I enjoyed it too. Yeah, I remember going through that whole stage, man, of like Teletubbies and Blue's Clues and, all those shows. We would run those shows, when my kids were like, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. Andrew Petrie says, John, it's impossible to fish and worry at the same time. Fact. Okay. I'll give you that. Yeah, it's very relaxing, I guess, Jolie says Indianapolis. Mish Blues Clues. Eileen Kaw. Good suggestion for name change. Bit of a hassle. Eileen Sokaw. Now, I kid. Talia411 says that Jolie loves hearing your daughter sent pics. So sweet. Hey, there's Margot. Hey, Trucker John. I really appreciate your video. Tickets are a bit out of reach. I was so excited to watch along. Oh, thank you, Margot. Thank you so much. I'm glad you were there, and I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I know it was shaky and it was blurry, but I think the enthusiasms, I think we're coming through, a little bit there. And I was basically, once the concert started, I really wasn't looking at the chat too much. Because I just wanted to enjoy the show and, but I would look down every now and then just to make sure I wasn't just videoing the ceiling, which I think I was a few times, or the back of somebody's head, which I think I was a few times. But I would catch a few of the chats, and it seemed like you guys were all having a really good time. So I'm glad for that. Eileen Kaw, Eileen, California. You couplings, I am so old. Younglings, I am so old. You know what? You're not old. You're just experienced. You know what I mean? Jolie says, I sent her with a picture of her as a baby with a Blues Clues background, and he signed it. She had on a Grateful Dead t-shirt in the pic. Steve loved it. Oh, that's cool. That's sort of like the whole trifecta there. I mean, it's like Blues Clues and Grateful Dead, and the guy signed it. That is like that's like a good day right there. Harry KP, big comfy couch. Yeah, they had the big comfy couch. Fancy says bananas and pajamas was my nephew's favorite. Jolie says a clue was among my daughter's first words. That's so funny. Big Hook says how's Captain Kirk with communicator was off the charts funny. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was pretty good. He does a pretty good Shatner. I'll give him that. Let's see. Chris says, I love those shows. Kept the crotch goblins entertained. Yeah, it sure did. Andrew Petrie says, I let my daughter watch the Trailer Park Boys when she was 7. Then I taught her about swearing correctly at the right time. Right. Exactly. Francis says, you're not getting older. You're getting better. That's what I was trying to say, actually. I couldn't remember that little phrase. Like a fine wine or something like that. Hey, it looks like I'm caught up in the chat. Miracle of miracles. I've actually caught up in the chat. But hey, we got 26 watching, 31 thumbs ups. that's pretty good ratio. Somehow we got, that means, I guess that means 5 people have left. But appreciate you guys being here. We're hanging out day after Springsteen. And I got to tell you though, because I'm really pathetically out of shape. Because basically, I think for the last 20 years, I've basically just been sitting on my ass. Either in a truck, now I'm in a car, doing Uber, and then when I'm home, I'm just laying around, watching TV. So I'm going to try to rectify that. I'm going to try doing this 10,000 steps a day for 30 days on the Las Vegas Strip. That's going to be my next little thing. Maybe next week we'll start doing that. I'm going to live stream it. So I'm trying to get more active, okay? So before you guys pillory me with comments about exercise and health and how important it is, I realize all that. So anyhow, I did a walk the other day where I walked over to Whataburger, and we had that on a live stream also. And that was to walk there and then walk back to my car. That was almost, I think, 7,000 steps. So I did that. And then yesterday I parked pretty much the same at the Tropicana. I parked there and walked to the T-Mobile Arena. And by the time I walked there, then I stood. That concert was 3 hours. I was standing almost the whole time to the point where I could not feel my legs. And when you can't feel your legs, you feel like you're going to fall down, or like you can't move because you feel like you're just going to fall over, right? So anyhow, and then plus I walked back to the car. So by the time I did that, that was over 7,000 steps, plus that 3 hours of standing. So today when I got up, I could barely get up out of bed. I could barely walk to the bathroom or to the kitchen. That's how pathetically out of shape I am. So anyhow, hopefully we'll rectify that. We're going to do that 10,000 steps a day for 30 days on the Las Vegas Strip, live streaming it. We're going to be doing that. I'm not going to say exactly when because I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to start. I was thinking maybe Monday, but I think Monday I've got to go down below. By down below, I mean I'm going to go down to California. So maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, but sometime next week I think I'm going to start my 10,000 steps a day for 30 days. I was going to call it a challenge, but I'm not really challenge. I'm challenging myself, but I'm not. It's not like a challenge. It's not like the ice bucket challenge where I call somebody out and then you have to do the thing and then they call somebody out. It's not like that kind of challenge. It's just a challenge to myself, and plus anybody else who wants to follow along, I guess. So, but that's something to look forward to. We'll be doing that. We'll be doing the 10,000 steps a day for 30 days. And you guys can watch along because I'm going to live stream it, and it'll be on the Strip. So we're going to be walking down the Las Vegas Strip, and you can see some Las Vegas casinos and hotels and things of this nature. So I think it'll be interesting. So we got that to look forward to. Let's see. We got. I was caught up, and now I'm not caught up. While I was going off there, you guys were going off. Let's see, where did I leave off? Robert Perez is here. Hey, Robert. Thanks for being here. Top of the morning to you, driver. Johnny, have a great day. I just got a wisdom tooth pulled today and feel crappy. Yeah, that's no fun. That's no fun. So hopefully just take plenty of those extra strength Tylenols or whatever they gave you or told you to get, and just kick back and chill out over here at the truck stop, or today it's actually the T-Mobile Arena. Just kick back and relax. Mish says that Andrew is saying know your audience. Yeah. Jack, make sure you give me the thumbs up, Robert Perez. I know you probably did, but just in case. Jackie says, TJ Chat family, take care. Oh, going to lunch with my hubby, celebrating our 39th wedding anniversary. Well, if you're still here, you're probably not here because I'm late on the chat. But anyway, as a matter of record, we'll put this on the record. Happy anniversary, Jackie. Happy 39th. You go have fun with your hubby, and congratulations on that. That's a big one. And then next year will be 40th, and that's like a milestone. Anything that ends in a 0, right? Let's see. So, human kindness, says Eileen Ka. Little human kindness. Good Vibes Tribes. How was the boss? The boss was awesome. Hey, Good Vibes Tribes, by the way. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. Thanks for coming into the chat. The boss was awesome. The boss was the hot sauce. The boss was the man with the hot sauce. I don't know if that sounds right. But it was an awesome show. I loved it. If you want to check it out, it will be on the replay. You can check out the replay. Like I say, I've been saying this all morning. It's a little shaky. It's a little blurry. But, you know, what are you going to do? You know, what are you going to do? It was fun, but I had a great time. And I think everybody in the crowd had a great time. And I think a lot of people watching are having a great time. So check it out, man. Margot is congratulating Jackie. Congrats, that's a great accomplishment. It is 39 years. That is awesome. I only lasted a couple of years with mine. So. Andrew Petrie says, Jackie, awesome. Get naked in public. Oh, Andrew, you little scamp, you. Good Vibe Tribe says, I hike and walk. It's fun. Yeah, I'm going to try to do more of that on a daily basis because I am pathetically, woefully out of shape, miserably so, and I need to not be that way. Eileen says, subscribed and liked. Thank you very much, Eileen. I'm not even going to sing that one song because, it might get taken the wrong way. So I don't want to take a chance, even though it is a catchy tune. And if you know the tune I'm talking about. Harry KP says, talk to your doctor about legs. Oh yeah, you mentioned last night they were numb. Yes! Completely numb when I was standing there. I think it's a neuropathy type of thing. Neuro thing, probably, right? Now, Chris is saying hi to Pisces Greeter. Am I not seeing Pisces Greeter again? Jolie said hi to Pisces Greeter. Now, we had this problem before. And I don't know what's happening again. What is happening? Because I don't see Pisces Greeter. I do not see Pisces Greeter. And I have done nothing to do that. So I guess we're having that problem again, Pisces. So if I don't acknowledge you, it's because I don't see you. So, and this is weird. But maybe I should try, because I'm actually on my... No, am I on the Trucker John? I am on the Trucker John one. I think. No, I'm not. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm on the Fowler's Wrath one. Let me just move over and just see if that makes a difference or not. Let me go back to the Trucker John channel. I see my live stream, 33 watching, it says. And let's go to all messages. I see Pisces Greeter. Okay, so on the Trucker John one, I see Pisces Greeter. But for some reason, when I was on the Fowler's Wrath, I did not see Pisces Greeter. Maybe that was the problem before. I don't know, that's weird though. Because I see everybody else on there. But anyhow, I can see you, Pisces. I see you. But I didn't see you on the other one. So anyhow, there we are. Margot says, hey Pisces, you are everywhere. Jackie says, thank you everyone. About that anniversary. Harry Kippy says, roll slow over, slow and steady. Margot says, might be too hot soon. Tim Farrell, 1234, hi gang. Hey Tim Farrell, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Tim Farrell was watching the concert last night. Quite the aficionado on all things E Street Band and Bruce. Good Vibes Tribe says, part of the year I run 4 miles a day. I used to do that when I was younger. I can't do it now. Even if I wasn't so fat and everything, I don't think I could do it because my bones and everything are just like, I'm 63. But when I was running 4 miles a day, I was in probably the best shape of my life. That was way back when I was like in the physical prime of my life, when I was like 30, 32. Chris says, I hear your trucker John. My foot still hurts from walking the mile down to the bus stop to get to jury duty on Wednesday. Wow. Yeah, this shit just, it's just, you try to do some exercise, you try to walk around, and then you kill yourself. Harry KP say Vegas walkabout, go for scenery. That'd be some good scenery. I mean, if you like to see the strip is pretty cool. Good vibes tribes. I have to for work. You have to run 4 miles a day. Pice Grady says hi, Robert Perez. Tim's saying hi, to making the rounds there, saying hi. Andrew Petrie says there's 86,000 seconds in a day. Another useless fact. I'm not sure if that's completely useless. It kind of makes you think about, not wasting time, maybe. I don't know. Tim Farrell says nothing shaky on Shakedown Street at Jolie. Okay. Jolie says used to be the heart of town. Jolie and Tim are having a private conversation. Big Hook says greeting Teresa. Live long and prosper. Is Mr. Spock here? I didn't see Mr. Spock. Anyhow, only Mr. Spock can say that. Andrew Preacher says live chat, John. Yeah, I'm in live chat. Talia 401 gonna take care of pups. Cheers. Thank you, Talia, for being here. If you're still here, thanks so much. Glad you found us. I hope you come back. Keep on coming back. This is where we just chill out. We shoot the shit. We shoot the shit out of the shit. Drink a little coffee. Drink a little whatevers. Some people do the 420 stuff. I don't really do that. Speaking of that, where's Nick Rich 56? He's usually our big puff pass dude. Eileen's got to go. Okay, well, I hope you come back. Like I say, Tuesday, Thursdays, Saturdays, regular schedule. We're all Pacific time, 9 a.m., 11 a.m. on Saturday. But we are doing some impromptus like last night. And also, I'm planning on starting that new 10,000 steps a day for 30 days. And I'm going to try to do it consecutively. There might be some time where something comes up, I might have to skip a day or something, but I'm going to try to do like the 30 days all like in a row, Goodbye Tribes, running 4 miles every morning sucks, not fun. Well, the way I did it, when I say I used to run 4 miles a day, I actually didn't run 4 miles a day. I ran Monday through Friday, and what I would do is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday were like my long days. Okay, so whatever distance, and I worked my way up to 4 miles. I didn't start off, because I was never really a big runner, but I worked my way up to 4 miles. I think I started at 2 miles, and I worked up to 4 miles. So that was my long day. And then I knew that, I just knew me, and I knew that I couldn't keep that up like 5 days a week. Or even 7 days a week. Some people run 7 days a week, but I was just doing Monday through Friday. So my Monday, Wednesday, Friday was my long day, and I would do. So when I had worked my way up to 3 miles and 3.5 miles and 4 miles, that was my long day. And then Tuesday and Thursday was just a short run where I basically cut it in half. Whatever my long day was, I cut it in half. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would just do 2 miles. And the thing, and when my long day was 2 miles, my short day was only 1 mile. You know what I mean? See how that worked? So when I was doing 3 miles, 3.5 miles, 4 miles, I would just on Tuesdays and Thursdays I would just cut it in half. And what I found is I was able to maintain that and not burn out. And that Tuesday and Thursday, that shorter run, it let me just sort of kind of recuperate from the long run, but still get a good workout in. And I just felt like it was a good kind of way to just keep, kind of keep your muscles, your running muscles in shape, and then, but not have to think about, oh God, I got to run 4 miles today, and then it was funny how after running 4 miles, then when you do 2 miles was like a breeze, So yeah, I did that, and then Saturdays and Sundays. It's not like Saturday and Sunday I just laid around. 'Cause I was pretty active. I mean, I was playing semi-pro football. I was playing softball leagues. I was playing pickup basketball games. I was playing, all this kind of stuff. And so I just thought, okay, Monday through Friday, I'm going to train for running because I was training for 5Ks, and I also wanted to work my way up to 10Ks and maybe a half marathon and maybe even a marathon at some point. But I never did get that far into it. And then on the weekends, I was playing sports. I thought, okay, I'll play sports, and I'm not going to do the running unless it's a 5K that I'm going to, which were usually a lot of times on Sundays, I think. But so yeah, that's just to clear that up, I guess. Pastor Reader says, glad you can see me, Trucker John. Sorry you didn't see me at first. Well, don't be sorry. Not your fault. On my other channel, for some reason, I can't find you. I don't see you. But on this channel, I see you. Denise Wilkins says, just dropped by to say hello. So, Trucker John, how does Springsteen look and sound? He's so smooth. Hey, Denise, thanks for being here, by the way. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share for me. And Springsteen looked great. He sounded great. I think maybe the best I've ever heard him. I mean, his voice was in great shape. And I think the guy's 73 or 4 or something like that. And Jesus Christ, the guy's in phenomenal shape. He looks great. He sounds great. The band was awesome. I loved it. I loved it. Everybody loved it. Good Vibes Tribe says, yeah, I'm a seasonal firefighter and volunteer, so PT is part of the job. I went out to be a fireman once when I was in my 20s in the like a local fire department. And it was to be like an on-call, and then the hope was that you would work your way into a permanent position. And this is when I was kind of in my physical prime too. And I remember I went through, they had a test day of all these physical things. Like we had to carry kind of like a duffel bag that was like, I don't know, 100 pounds or something. Like it was sort of like to simulate like carrying somebody, I guess. And you had to like put that over your shoulder and then run like 40 yards, and then they were timing us. And then we had to, I don't know, carry a hose up because they had one of those like 4-story kind of towers. I think we had to like race to the top type of thing. And then I think we climbed down a rope. I think we actually did a like a zip line thing. I don't know, there was all these things. And I remember there was about, I don't know, there was like 15 or 20 guys in there. And I remember I was coming in like second place in almost everything. There was this one dude who was beating me on and everything. And not to say, because I really wasn't like a great athlete, especially like when I was younger, but I did get into a couple of periods in my life where I got into really, really good shape, where I was fast and strong and all that kind of stuff. 2 very kind of distinct periods in my life where I did that. And this was one of them. In my early 20s, and I did really good, but I was on the list to be an on-call, and then because I passed all that, and then I think I went to do something else. I think I left. I forget the exact time. I might have went back to school. I might have been back to New Mexico or something to go to school because I was playing football back there. Anyhow, yeah. So it's definitely good to stay in shape, because firefighting is no easy thing. It is very physical. Mr. Spock, there's Mr. Spock. I'm kind of here. I'm on a toke break. Oh, there's Mr. Spock. I was wondering that because Big Hook had said live long and prosper. That reminded me of you. And then so I always have to do this. I'm trying to get better at my thing here. Live long and prosper. I'm getting a little better. Still too much separation in those other fingers there, but I need to practice this on my off time. But hey, Mr. Spock, good to see you. Mr. Spock says, don't tell me Trucker John can't see me also. Well, I can see you now. I see you now. Good Vibe Tribe says, I can partake in the cannabis for about another month and have to stop for like 6 or 7 months. Oh yeah, do they do like random drug tests and stuff? Chris says, if you see me running, look for whatever is chasing me. Right. Yeah, I think my running days are over, but if I can at least get some good walking in, you know. Andrew Petrie says, I'm almost ready to adopt Mr. Spock. Oh, really? Is the paperwork going through? Big Hook says, I found a good trick is to mix it with cycling. Yeah, you have a route, stop, do a run around field once, cycle, circle route again. Yeah, that's good too, because you're still getting some exercise, but it's low impact. Cycling is low impact on your joints and stuff, but you can still get a good heart rate going on the bike. Yeah, and that would also be a good if you're doing like a triathlon or something. If you want to do some good bike training. Chris says, "Oh yeah, if you see me running uphill, there's a tsunami coming." Good Vibes Tribe says, "I run for tacos." There you go. Pisces Greedy says, "A Bruce Springsteen fan here." Oh well, join the club. I think there's a few of us in here. In case you didn't know, I went to the concert last night. That's all this is about. This is the T-Mobile Arena right here. And that's Bruce right there. Look at it. He's going, Trigger John, I see you. That's what that is right there. That's him going. He pointed me out. He's like, Trigger John, yeah. And I was like, Bruce, I love you, man. Andrew Petrie says, hey, little baby, is your daddy home? Hey, little baby, is your daddy home? Did he go away and leave you all alone? He didn't sing that song, though, I don't think, right? I was kind of waiting for that one. Goodbye Tribe says, yeah, volunteer, then paid call, then seasonal, then permanent. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that's how it worked where I was at, too. Yeah. Denise Wilkins on Bruce. And Andrew Petrie says, I'm on fire, his best. That's a good song. I do like that song. Good Vibes Tribe says, I'm waiting for EMT school now. Oh, yeah. Awesome. That's pretty cool. You're doing all that stuff. Mr. Spock was laughing out loud for some reason. Not really sure why. This is a very serious show. We take things very seriously here. Do not know why you're laughing out loud. There's no room for laughter here. Okay, this is serious shit. Let's get serious, people. Let's get serious for a moment. All right? We've got some serious shit to talk about. And we're going to be talking about, I don't know, serious shit. So no laughing, please. No laughing. Goodbye Try says they are cool about CBD, but not THC. Well, at least they make the distinction. Some places they're just like, hey, it's all the same. CBD don't get you high. THC gets you high. Andrew Petrie, no joy. There'll be no joy here. What's with this joy and laughter? There'll be none of that here. I'll have you know. We're talking about the seriousness of running and Bruce Springsteen, I guess. I don't know. What are we talking about today? What is going on today? There's lots of shit. I don't know if we need to talk about all this shit. We know there's lots of shit going on in Ukraine and Moscow or Gaza. Let's just take a break from all that today. Let's talk about Bruce. Who else has gone to a Bruce Springsteen concert? Does anyone else want to share your Springsteen experiences? If you've seen in concerts, what's your favorite song? Andrew Petrie's favorite song we just found out is the whatchamacallit song, I'm on Fire. So how about you guys? What's your guys' favorite Bruce Springsteen song? And have you seen him in concert? And did you love it? Did you like it? When was it? When? Where? Come on now, let's give me the tea on it. Gary KP says, finally, no laughing out loud, for fuck's sake. Yes, finally. Finally, we've come to the point where there's no laughing out loud. You keep those laughs inside. You keep them inside. Andrew Petrie now is laughing out loud. Okay, well, so much for that. Big Hook, the Big Hook says, do you think Trump is broke come Monday. Monday. I just said let's talk about Bruce Springsteen. But he's broke. He's broke as fuck. Either that or he's just so stingy that he doesn't want to. Because if he's worth $7 or $8 billion, and I know people say it's an assets, it's not all liquid, blah blah blah. But still, if he was really worth $7 or $8 billion, I don't think it would be very hard for him to get the 500 million or 400 and something million. You know, so either he's just trying to hide all that. I don't know, but no matter what, I think he's fucked. So. And I think he's a fucking liar. So. The Trumpster. Good Vibe Try says, yeah, THC is psychoactive. Harry KP's laughing out loud. Wait, everyone's laughing. I said not to laugh. There's no laughing. No, I'm just kidding. Laugh away, motherfuckers. Andrew Petrie, ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Bill Withers, yeah. Good Vibe Tries, Springsteen is awesome. Bruce Springsteen is awesome. Yes, he is. He's an awesome dude, awesome performer. I loved the show. I loved it. Good Vibe Tribe said, I saw him guest appear with the Gaslight Anthem. Wow. When and where the hell was that? And who were the Gaslight Anthem? Oh, good. Oh, the Gaslight District. Yeah, because Good Vibe Tribe San Diego, like 2014. Yeah, they have that Gaslight District, right? Isn't that old town or something? Maybe I'm thinking. That sounds about right. So 2014, huh? Wow, that must have been pretty awesome. Because in 2014, Bruce was Bruce. It's not like it was like, 1974, and it's like, who the fuck is this dude? And you're like, oh, this guy's pretty good. This is 2014, so this was when Bruce was Bruce. And he showed up at the Gaslight Anthem, or with the Gaslight Anthem. So that sounds pretty cool. Ichabod Deer says, last Bruce concert I saw was at SPAC, outdoors. Clarence was there then. Great show. Oh, wow. Yeah, but that was great. And I really, my hat's off to Jake, Clarence's nephew. The old, what is it? The nut didn't fall far from the tree or whatever. I don't know what's the saying? I mean, that's his nephew. That's not even his son, but he's got the big stature like Clarence, and I think the guy plays great. I think he was awesome. And some people are saying like Jake's not as good or whatever, but man, he's pretty darn close, I think. Don O'Leary says, I was at the concert when Bruce danced with that Friend star. You were there, huh? You were there? You were at that concert with, what's her face? That's pretty awesome. That you were actually there. Wow. So that had to be what, around was that like around 84 or something like that? Mish, Prove It All Night. Prove It All Night. He played that song last night. So is that your favorite Springsteen song, Mish? Prove It All Night Long. Yeah, that they did that one last night. That was a big number, a big crowd pleaser, I'm gonna fix my mustache. Big Hook says, as Hal was saying, is he a front for others' stolen holdings? Wait. Oh, we're got back to Trump. Talking about Trump. He's a front for others' stolen holdings. Yeah, he's just a big money. He's just a big money laundering scheme. That's what they just used him for, to launder their money. Pisces Greeter says, cool at Don O'Leary. I saw the video of the Friend star, Courtney Cox. That's the one. That's the girl. Good Vibes Tribe says, nah, the Gaslight Anthem is a band. They played the college. Okay, that's cool. Don O'Leary says, Pisces, I always forget her name. Courtney Cox. Say it 3 times and you'll remember forever. Courtney Cox, Courtney Cox, Courtney Cox. Okay, now you will never forget her name ever again. Andrew Petrie says, fuck it, let's go crab fishing. My buddy's cat died yesterday. I said, bring it along with us. he hung up on me. Andrew. No wonder he hung. I would hang up on you too. You don't say bring your dead cat with. Come on, Andrew. Ichabod Deer says, truth, his nephew is great. Yes, I think he was awesome. Big Hook says, did you ever see Huey Lewis in the news, John? I'm trying to think because there's so much that I forgot in my life. I never did see Huey Lewis in the news live in concert. I liked Huey News and the Lose. No, I liked Huey Lewis. I liked them. But the funny thing is, my ex-wife was a huge Huey Lewis in the News fan. And when we got together, I was Bruce and she was Huey. And then it was funny how she became, a Bruce fan, I guess, or at least where she never really listened to Bruce. And then because of us being together, she listened to Bruce. And then because she was a big Huey Lewis fan, then I listened to I had all these Huey Lewis tapes and stuff, And so I got into Huey Lewis. And now, what's funny is that I don't think she even likes Huey Lewis anymore. Because I just saw her back in October. We went to a concert together. We saw Ed Sheeran together. And I said, so you still into Huey Lewis? And she's like, no, not really. I was like, oh, okay. I guess she's into Ed Sheeran now. I don't know. Pisces Greeter says, Donald Leary, I was surprised. I remember her name. And then Donald Leary had a message retracted. I guess I shouldn't say that because, it sounds bad or something. And I have no idea. It could be for any reason. Jolie says, Trucker John has channel membership, super chats. You can also support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing, or buy me a coffee. Thank you, Jolie, for posting that up there. Support the show, keep the show growing so we can do more and more fun things, like maybe go to a Grateful Dead concert at the Sphere. I might just do that, and I might live stream it. And who's going to stop me? I remember last night, who was it that was so worried? I think I may have lost him as a subscriber because I kind of got on him. Was it Surrender Monkey? Was so concerned about I was going to get in trouble and all this kind of shit. And I just basically said, hey, dude, don't worry about it. It's my fucking problem. If I get in trouble, that's on me. I don't need you to fucking tell me this and that and the other. So it's the same thing. If I go to the Sphere and I start live streaming, I'll just live stream it. If someone in authority says to stop, then I'll stop. Okay. Big Hook says the swing a dead cat question could be answered. Oh, there we go. That's what that was all about. All right. Like I've always said, folks, I'm a little slow, but I'll eventually get it. And I do see a little tiny bit of the green screen not covering, and it's kind of bugging me. But I'm afraid if I move it, it's going to be the other way. Just leave it, John. You guys probably didn't even notice it until I brought it up. No, and actually you can see it, huh? Let's see. Can I fix this? I'm going to try to fix this real quick. If I just scoot that over. There, that's better. Price Agreed says the Bruce Springsteen music video was from the song Dancing in the Dark. Yep. And he did that song last night where Courtney Cox was on stage with him. Cool. Yeah, that was a big, huge thing. And that basically sparked Courtney Cox's career from that point onward. And last night he did the song, and he was out kind of on the edge of the stage, and I thought maybe he was going to pull up I think he used to do that, like even after that video, I think he would pull girls up and dance with them, and so I thought last night maybe he was going to do that, but he didn't do that. And even though it might even be, like pre-rigged, pre-assigned, pre-whatever, it would still would have been cool, I think, if he would have pulled up someone and did the dance. But he didn't do it. Maybe he's too old to do it. I don't know. Andrew Peacher says, Big Hook, crab bait is crab bait in my eyes. Oh, you scamp. Denise Wilkins says, gotta go. Have a dog doctor appointment. See you later. You people stay safe, be happy. Well, thanks, Denise, for coming by. I hope your dog's going to be okay. Hope it's just a regular checkup, type of deal. But thanks for being here, and I hope you come back. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 11 on Saturdays, 3 on Thursdays. We do 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. And we do impromptus, and we're going to do a 10,000 steps a day for 30-day challenge on the Las Vegas Strip with Trucker John, by Trucker John, whatever. And that will be starting sometime next week, I think, I hope. Alrighty then. Think About Deer says, watch the documentary. Clarence Clemens, Who Do You Think I Am? 2019 documentary music, 1 hour, 20 minutes. It's excellent. Okay, thanks for that recommendation. I'll definitely check that out. Don O'Leary says, well, the concert was in Minneapolis, Bruce. Oh, the one with the concert with the Courtney Cox? That was in Minneapolis? Jolie says, retract messages are messages someone deletes themselves. Messages are removed when I've done it. Yeah, and I just saw that it was retracted because I was, I'm reading the chats and all of a sudden I see, oh, message retracted. And I guess I've retracted some of my messages, like in other chats, like if I just edited it was such a horrendous typo, and I'm like, oh, I better just take that off. Let's see. Pisces Greer says, I liked Huey Lewis in the News. Yeah, they were good. Big Hook says, one more lie after the cat's 9th, Andrew. Andrew Petrie says, I've seen The Dead 3 times, 2 in my hometown, Hamilton, Ontario, and 1 in Buffalo. What a strange trip. And when you saw them, like, what was this I'm assuming was it after Jerry Garcia's death? Like, how long ago was this? And Jolie might be able to address this because I'm thinking, is the Dead as good without Jerry Garcia? And now they've had couple more of their founding members have passed on away since Jerry Garcia. I think there's not very many left. I think there's only like 2 left, right? So I'm just wondering if the band is still as good or as fun to watch or whatever. Ichabod Deer says, I was the Van Halen concert they filmed the Panama video at. They played the tune twice. That was fun. Awesome, Ichabod Deer. Panama, where did they film that? Was that in the Valley? Was that in California? Somewhere? I'm trying to remember the Panama video. I think I always get it confused with Hot for Teacher for some reason. Harry KP, I have retracted some of my chat messages before. Go TJ, laughing out loud. Hey, there's Blaze Red's gaming channel. Well, Blaze Red's gaming channel, thanks for being here. I've never seen this one, just seen you before, I don't think. So thank you so much for being here. Make sure you give me that thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Blaze Red's gaming channel says, speaking of concerts, I was at a Almost Human Kiss tribute show and a Van Halen tribute show. They were at my local casino in North Bend, Oregon. Plus, those 2 shows were free. Well, that's great. They're free. Are they good? Was the Kiss tribute and the Van Halen tribute, are they good at least? Because that's always important. Don O'Leary says, but thanks for being here, Blaze Red. It's good to see you. Don O'Leary says, Pisces, did you know Huey started out as country music? MTV was really great. I didn't know they started out as country. I don't remember any country songs from them. Chris says at Blaze Red's gaming channel, too cool. Pisces Greeter says, Don O'Leary, no, I did not. Thank you for that info. You learn something every day. I think you do. Andrew Petrie says before. Okay, so you saw Jerry Garcia and all that. That's when they still were pretty much intact, right? So that's cool. You got to see them before, they started dying off. Jolie says, I lost track of how many Dead shows I went to. It's all a bit of a blur, I bet. I bet Jolie's over there taking the brown acid. I'm just kidding. Blades Red Gaming Channel says hi to the Price Creator. Chris says, Jolie, so you had a good time. Price Creator TK says, Courtney Cox is my age. She will turn the big 6-0 on June 15th. She was almost 20 years old in the Bruce Springsteen music video on stage with him. Yeah, she was so young. We all were. Harry KP says, or messages could be misread too easily as being mean instead of my attempt at text of a social greeting was with them. Yeah, that's true. And that one got, as I was reading it, got retracted. Just to prove a point, maybe. I don't know. Jolie says, it's definitely not as good without Jerry, but the vibes are still amazing. I still enjoy seeing them. Well, that's cool. And that's really, what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Let's see. Don Leary says, Ichabod Deer, wow, that is cool, regarding Van Halen. Jolie says, Chris, loads of fun. Blaze Red's Gaming Channel says, hell yeah, they were awesome. Well, that's cool. Well, that's great. I'm glad you had a good time. And who doesn't love Kiss and Van Halen in any form? Whether it's a tribute band or not, right? Chris says, by the way, Blaze Red's Gaming Channel is my grown male spawn. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Keeping it all in the family here. But thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing the show, Chris. Jolie says, I only got 5 years with Jerry. Wish I had gotten into them sooner. Mish says, Blaze Red at the mill. Blaze Red's Gaming Channel says, yes, at the mill. At the mill. At the mill. Let's see. Here Kimmy says, laughing out loud. Sorry, laughing out loud. Mish is saying nice to Chris. I don't know what that means. Mish says, oops. I guess it's welcome, probably. Yeah, let's be logical here. And Jolie says, hi, Blaze Red's Gaming Channel, welcome. And I want to say welcome again. Everyone is saying welcome. Okay, so cool. So I'm caught up with the chat. Ooh, I guess it's a jet. I have jets that go right overhead. I thought it was wind for a second there. Because yesterday, when I was waiting in line to get into this concert, right here in front of this building, it was getting quite windy. Sometimes we do get the winds out here, that's for sure. Staying hydrated. Chris says, Trucker John, I raised him right. All right. Good on you, Chris. Andrew Petrie says that Trucker John, the Dead shows are on YouTube, Hamilton, Ontario. I might check one out. Do a little research before if I do go to the Sphere. Harry KP, please do not tell anybody my opinion on Kiss. Shh, laugh it out loud. I like Kiss. I had a bunch of Kiss back in the day, cassettes. And I liked them a lot. I also had vinyl too. I had the Double Live album. And I really think, Rock and Roll Night live is much better than the studio version. It just sounds better. It's better. I think the sort of the cadence of it, or the I'm not a musician, but the timing of it is a little bit better. A little bit slower, I think, than the studio version. And it just really comes through. It's a great rock and roll party song. And it really comes through as a party song in the live version, much more so than the studio version. And that's just my opinion. But I think a lot of people probably share that opinion. Probably. Pice Reader TK says, my husband saw Billy Joel in concert before he met me. I met my husband in 1986. Lucky him. Big Billy Joel fan too. I like Billy Joel, especially back in the day. When he was in his, his heyday. that kind of late 70s, early 80s. It's probably the best time for Billy Joel, I think. Don O'Leary says that, Jolie, you said you always felt safe at Dead concert, which brought a new perspective for the band. Okay. Andrew Petrie says, I was Liss Army. I think he meant Kiss Army in the 70s. Unless there's Liss. Maybe that might be a tribute band. I don't know. A Kiss tribute band, Liss. Practice Greer says, my husband and I saw Survivor, Neil Diamond, and Barry Manilow concert. All great concerts. Of course, all at different times. A long time ago it has been. That sounds very poetic, the way you wrote that. Andrew Petrie, Kiss, yeah. I know. It's the L and the K are right next to each other. I'm always, that's why whenever I see someone in the chat and they say, hi, Trucker John, like if I'm in Howl or some other chat, it takes me so goddamn long to respond because I'm like doing it with my thumbs and I'm hitting all these different things and I'm like, oh, I got a backspace and I got it takes forever for me to respond. And then by the time I responded, it was like way up in the chat where they said hi to me. So if you're ever wondering, like, why isn't he responding or why does it take so long? It's because I'm such a stupid, typer with my thumbs. I'm all thumbs on a little tiny, iPhone keypad. So I feel your pain, Andrew. I feel your pain. Harry KP says, I never progressed beyond AC/DC, I guess, laughing out loud, in the heavy genre. I love me some AC/DC. I ain't gonna lie. Whether it's Bon Scott era or whether it's the Brian Jones, what's his name, era, the guy who took his place. I love both of them. I love both iterations. See, I can love AC/DC and I can still love Pink Floyd. Two bands that are pretty much diametrically opposed to one another musically. Something's going on out there. But I probably love them maybe equally. Andrew Petrie says, all good, buddy. Big Hook says, you're not a first responder, eh, John? I am not a first responder. What gave you that idea? I'm an old, fat, semi-retired dude. Chris says, my first concert was Melissa Manchester. Oh, wow. I remember her. Dark hair, pretty girl. What was her big song? She had that one big song. I'm sure she had a few other hits, but she was a really big song. I can't remember what it was now. Maybe Chris will remind us. Donald Leary says, my first concert was Rush. Wow. That's a big one to make that as your first. You're not messing around. You go to Rush, you're not just dipping your toe in the rock world. I mean, you're diving in head first there. Pescree says, I am not fast at texting on the phone. I try my best. I am faster on laptop typing. Go figure. Well, yeah, on the laptop, it's more like a conventional kind of keyboard. And you can use all your fingers. Big Hook says Midnight Blue duet, I think. Oh, was it duet? Chris says, we love a variety of musical genres. As do I. I even like country to some extent. I mean, Dwight Yoakam's my favorite country artist by far, hands down. Dwight Yoakam. And I had a bunch of Dwight Yoakam CDs. I don't anymore because they got all stolen, but that's another story for another day, I guess. Don O'Leary, tell me about what, Don? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to talk to you about. So Don O'Leary at Jolie, last night chat during Trucker John. I don't know. I don't know if I missed something. Walter Makarovich. is here. It says, Trucker Don, do you remember Clarence Clemens playing in the Michael Stanley Band? He was awesome in the song Lover by Michael Stanley Band. Check it out. Well, first of all, Walter Makarovich, thank you for being here. I don't think I've ever seen you in the chat before. So thank you very much. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share button. The buttons. And I don't remember the Clarence Clemens playing with Michael Stanley Band. I'm not sure who Michael Stanley is. But if you want to refresh our memories about the song, what songs they may have done or whatever, I don't recall that. Mr. Spock says, I was thinking of doing a ventriloquist act. This should be a good one. But something nobody has ever done before. The dummy has Tourette's syndrome. Would that be politically correct? I'm not making jokes. The dummy is. That's kind of like what's his face? Jeff, what's his face? Where he uses his dummies to be, to take out his racism, I guess. Chris says, my brother was on tour with her at the time, the Melissa album. Oh, your brother was on tour? That's pretty cool. Did your brother do anything that we might know? Was it on the radio or anything? Chris says, Midnight Blue was my fave. Midnight Blue. I'm trying to remember that song. I know it was a big song, though. Andrew Petrie says, I like the Mavericks. Are they country? Because I was talking about country. I like Dwight Yoakam. Big Hook says, heavy metal never appealed more pop and hip-hop my style. I like a little bit of everything. I'm probably less on the hip-hop and more on the heavy metal side. And I'm kind of all over with pop. I'm like, pop is such a wide thing, and there's lots of pop I like. Jolie says, yes, Don Larry, and everyone is super respectful of your personal space. It's refreshing. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, what you guys are talking about, but yeah, I'm very respectful of your personal space. Jeff Dunham, there you go, Big Hook. That's what I was trying to think of, Jeff Dunham. He seems to be where he says, I'm not racist. And then he has all these puppets and he does all this kind of racist shit. Or at least, yeah, I think it's kind of racist what he does. But he pawns it off onto his dummies. But Jeff, we know that the dummies are you. So fuck you. Walter Makarovich says 1980s band from Cleveland, Ohio, early 80s. Yeah, I don't recall that band. The Michael Stanley Band. Did they have any hits or anything? I don't recall them. Chris says, holy shit, at Blaze Red's gaming channel just gave me the vinyl album Melissa. I fucking love that boy. Wow. That's cool. You did raise him right. Andrew Petrie says, all you ever do is bring me down. Try getting the DJ to play it. It's a great dance song. All you ever do is bring me down? That is the song? I don't know if I remember that song. Mr. Spock, Psychobilly. Is that a style of music? Or is it Ficobilly? We forgot an S in there. Walter Makarovich is saying hi. Well, hi back at you. Nice to see you here. Good Vibes Tribe says, I like everything. Well, almost everything. Mish says, Chris verified you raised him right. Yep, verified. Pisces Green says hi at Walter Makarovich. Don O'Leary says at Andrew Peachy. ELO coming to Minneapolis this fall. I used to like ELO too. So, I would like Van Halen, Thin Lizzy, Foghat, Aerosmith. But then I would also like ELO and Pink Floyd and Yes. So it's okay to like, different styles. It's okay. It's good. no one's gonna, think any less of you if you do. Tim Farrell says, I'm back. Missed a lot. Well, we missed you too, Tim. We were wondering, where the hell's Tim? He was here just a minute ago. But I'm glad you're back. Good to see you back. Chris says, my brother played guitar. Just like Ziggy Stardust. Big Hook says, Supertramp, ELO, Bee Gees, ABBA. From there, the Grease movie soundtrack, and then got my music from Casey Kasem. America's Top 40, yeah, right here. I like Supertramp. I like ELO. Bee Gees is kind of weird. It's kind of like, I never really think of myself as liking the Bee Gees, you know what I mean? Like, I don't go, gotta give me some Bee Gees. But then once a song comes on by the Bee Gees, then I'm like, oh, this is a good song, man. It's one of those things. It's kind of like the Doors. Like, I'm never really like I'm really jonesing for some Doors. I'm not like that. But then when the Doors comes on, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This is a good song, It's kind of weird how the mind kind of thinks things, I guess. The Grease movie soundtrack. Grease is the word. And Casey Kasem, yep. Tim Farrell says 12 Yes concerts on my resume. Wow. Tim Farrell. Yeah, I'm not expecting that. After all this talk about being a Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band expert, and now to hear that you went to 12 Yes concerts, that just blindsided me. You just blindsided me, bro. With that, I didn't expect that. I guess I would expect maybe 12 John Mellencamp concerts, or, but wow, that's awesome though. I love Yes. I mean, I just had that one album, In and Around the Lake, all that stuff. Mr. Spock says Tool rocks. Yeah, Tool. I had the Tool CD, the one that everybody has. Pice Reader TK says, I like music from the 60s and on, some hard rock songs and classical music and Christian music. Well, there you go. A little bit of, a little bit of everything. That's good. It's going to be well-rounded. Blaze Red's Gaming Channel says, my vinyl collection is crazier than my CD collection. I have 90 plus LPs that range from rock, metal, prog, and jazz fusion. Yeah, it's good to mix it up, Try a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Philly 3000s here says, don't forget Deep Purple. Hey, Philly 3000, good to see you. Glad you stopped by. Yeah, Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water, right? Smoke on the water. I don't think I did that melody right. Or that part of the thing right. But it's like, dun, dun, dun. Right? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Donald Leary says, Andrew Petrie, yes, you bring me down. You bring me down. ELO, I love ELO. I think ELO is awesome. I had a couple of their albums. Ichabod Deer says, I saw Yes a bunch of times outdoors and indoors. Is there a difference in the sound? Inquiring minds would like to know. Chris says, my brother gave me 3 albums when I was a kid. Eagles Greatest Hits 71 through 75, Linda Ronstadt Greatest Hits Volume 1, and Melissa. Now I have all of those on vinyl again, thanks to Blaze Red's Gaming Channel. Well, there you go, man. Good job, Blaze Red's Gaming Channel. Good job. Donald Leary says, holy shit at Tim. That was my thoughts exactly. Pace Greedy says, I like Supertramp, ABBA, and Bee Gees too. Out of those 3, Supertramp definitely like the best. I'm not really that much into ABBA or the Bee Gees, but like I said, when you hear even ABBA, when you hear their songs, you're like, yeah, that's cool. Andrew Petrie says, Donald Leary, making me a fool all over town. All you ever do is bring me down. You bring me down. Pice Greeter says, Elton John and Rod Stewart fan here. Well, there you go. Elton John, awesome. I mean, I loved Elton John. Basically, I mean, the 70s, more 70s than anything else. And Rod Stewart, I mean, who doesn't love Maggie May, or whatever? I mean, that's a great song. Ichabod Deer says, I saw Roger Hodgson of Supertramp several years ago. Great show. I bet it was. Philly 3000 says, don't forget Sugar, Sugar. Oh, honey, honey. Yeah, who could forget? And why would you want to forget? I had that Sugar, Sugar, and I found out that I wasn't the only one. A bunch of you guys, I bet you a bunch of people in this chat had the little 45 that you cut out of the cereal box, right? And and you could play it on your little record player, which I had, of the Archies or whatever singing Sugar Sugar. And I had that for years and years and years, and then a bunch of my shit got lost and stolen. But do any of you guys have that? That particular Sugar Sugar? It was what cereal was it, like? Pop Smacks or whatever? I don't know. And all these years I was thinking, I bet you I'm the only one that still has one of these. And I was in some other chat one time, and a bunch of people said, I have that one too, and I have that one too. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm not the only one. Good Vibes Tribe says, I disappeared to go listen to Secret Garden by Springsteen. There you go. And that's funny. On the way out last night, when I was walking back to my car, I heard some people talking. Everyone's just sort of like this mass of people. And somebody said something about one of those songs that Springsteen sang, and he was like, he was getting kind of teary-eyed about it. And this other guy goes, well, no, not me. He goes, now, if he would have sang that song from the Jerry Maguire movie, then I would have been, I would have been a mess or something like that. And I remember I just started laughing. I thought that was funny. Big Hook says, John Anderson is awesome. If you really want to hear some neat stuff, search him out. And Vangelis. Yeah, John Anderson, yeah, I just know him really from Yes. Got that great voice and everything. Tim Farrell says, I have every ticket stub, all my concerts, well over 100. Yeah, I've known people that do that, keep their concert stubs. And it's kind of a cool little collection to have. Good little keepsakes. In fact, I have what they did on mine, somewhere in one of my pockets, I do have my little stub. Because what they do, the ticket was on, nowadays it's on your phone, but when you go in, they actually printed out a little ticket. And I don't know, I think I still have it, I guess I would keep it. It's kind of like not really the same. In fact, it might not even be worth keeping. It might not even say anything, because the ticket stubs were cool when it would say like the name of the concert and date. And I think all this said was like, section 14, seat 8. I don't think it has any identifying thing, so it's probably not even worth keeping. But anyhow, Tim Farrell's Space, Trucker John. Okay. Good Vibes Tribe says, I cried in my pillow and now I'm better. Okay. Ichabod Deer saw Leslie West and Jack Bruce, Ginger Baker, 2/3 of Cream, and 1/3 of Mountain. I bet those dudes rocked. Philly 3000 says Billy Idol is still rocking away. Yeah, I saw he was on tour not too long ago. Blaze Red's Gaming Channel says thank you at Trucker John. Well, you're welcome. Andrew Petrie says Crocodile Rock was my first record I ever bought. Oh wow. Crocodile Rock. That's bringing back memories from the 70s. Chris says Blaze Red's Gaming Channel can rock it on the guitar too. Love my free concerts. Awesome. I think it's great when people can play instruments. I always wanted to play and I never learned. Donald Leary says that Tim Farrell, as do I, have all my ticket stubs. Tim Farrell said, I had 3 much older brothers, so much so I never lived with them. They taught me very well and took me to concerts when I was quite young. I was 13 at my first Yes concert, and it was outdoors. Philly 3000, also Bobby Sherman. Yeah, I remember that era, what was that, sort of late 60s, late 60s, early 70s, when you had, well, there was Archie's, and then there was like, Bobby Sherman and David Cassidy and, those kind of TV teen heartthrob type of thing. They were big. They were big back in the day. Tim Farrell says, "Cool it, Don Larry. It is hard to get stubs now." Yeah, I think the little stub I had, I don't think it is worth keeping. Big Hook says, "Pink Floyd, The Wall, first purchase." Oh, that's a good one. I played the hell out of that album when I had it. Don Larry says, Philly, I ditched a bridal shower to see Billy Idol. Wow, now that is devotion to an artist. Because you're willing to quite possibly, sever a relationship for it. Philly 3000 says, "I would have too," laughing out loud. Tim Farrell says, "Space Truckin' is a Deep Purple." Oh, yeah. Space Truckin'. You should know better. I didn't say that it wasn't. I never said that it wasn't a Deep Purple song. I just said Smoke on the Water. Andrew Petrie, "Seeing Floyd in Toronto 3 days in a row. I'm still recovering." Wow. That's a long recovery, because that must have been a long time ago. So, wow, that's testament to a great 3 days in a row. Philly 3000 says, "I think mine was Hitching a Ride." Ride. Hitching a ride. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Tim Farrell says, "Never saw Pink Floyd. Thought I had more time." I know. We always think that, don't we? That's why I really wanted to see Bruce last night. I'm not saying he's on his deathbed or whatever. I mean, the guy looks phenomenal. Looks like he's going to go strong for who knows. But when you are at that age, things can happen quickly as far as, your physical abilities going away. So I'm glad I saw Bruce in this sort of a big arena with the full band and everything. It was really great to see. Donald Lurie says, and Andrew Petrie, "Great album, Elton John." Elton John, yep. Crocodile Rock, we're talking about. Big Hook says, "One white wedding for another." Oh, I get it. Yeah. That's funny, Big Hook. Blazeman's Gaming Channel says, "Child in Time" by Deep Purple is my favorite from the In Rock album. Child in Time. I don't know if I've ever heard that one. I guess I basically have just heard sort of like the big songs, like, like Smoke on the Water. Andrew Petrie, 1986, 1987. That was the 3 days in a row of Floyd. Back in 87, I guess. And you're still recovering. That is a hell of a testament to Pink Floyd concert. Donald Lurie says, "Did see Pink Floyd, The Wall, Alice Cooper." Did Alice Cooper do a rendition of The Wall? No, I'm just kidding. I take it you saw both of those. Chris says, "I saw Ozzy White Line Vixen in 1989. That sounds pretty cool, like a good bill. Philly 3000 says, "Zeppelin, Have a Cigar." Was that the that album when the guy's on fire, the album cover? I'm just thinking of the album cover where he's kind of like just standing there and it looks like he's on fire or something. Tim Farrell says, "We are glad you saw Bruce, John. Where are you taking us next?" Well, I don't know. Like I was saying, maybe Grateful Dead is coming to the Sphere. Maybe I can try to get into that. Check that out. But I don't know. Who knows? Who knows where Trucker John's going to be? Who knows? It might just be Whataburger again. I don't know. Or something of this nature. Let's see here. Donald Leary says, Big Hook really wanted to see Billy Idol guitarist. Wow. I guess so. Finley 3000 says, my dad did the album cover for The Doors. The one with the most facing down, that was my dad's idea. I don't remember that one. But that's cool that your dad was doing album covers. That's pretty cool. Andrew Petrie says, come in here, dear boy. I guess we're doing Pink Floyd lyrics. Come in here, dear boy. We're building a wall. But did it have to be so high? Anyhow. So yeah, I think it's fair to say we have a lot of rockers in the chat. We have a lot of people that have a wide range of likes, and that's good. And I like all these bands you guys are mentioning. I like them. You know, I'm into all of them. Andrew Petrie says, that's cool. That's cool. I don't remember that song. I don't remember that lyric. I really don't. I didn't remember it at all. I didn't remember that one at all. I don't. Janelle Walker says, I had a great time seeing Bruce. Thanks again, John. Well, Janelle, I'm glad you were there. I'm glad you were there watching, and hopefully you were in wherever you were out and you're dancing along to the music. I was sort of dancing. I couldn't help it. I was sort of like going. I couldn't really do like my full on. You know, this is me full on dancing right now. I was just sort of like doing like a little head bob. So I apologize for the shaky camera, but I couldn't help it. I couldn't just stand there like a statue. I had to move a little bit. You know, I was like, yeah. That was me last night. Just. You know, what can I say? Tim Trill says, we are going to go far if we pull together as a team. Oh yes, we're going to go far if we pull together as a team. Big Hook says, 80s gave us a lot of great music. I think we've had this conversation before, haven't we, Big Hook? Was it you and I that had a bit of a debate? I don't know if it was debate per se, because I dared to say that the 80s was kind of musically not the best decade. And then I think it was you, Big Hook, then systematically listed, you know, a whole giant sheet of all this great music, of bands and songs. And of course, there were some great songs, but I'm just saying, when you look at the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the aughts, and I guess the teens, now we're in the 20s, it just seems to me the 80s were a little, you know, not quite as great as like, certainly, I think the 70s or even the 90s. I love the 90s. For me, the 90s was grunge and alt rock, right? But that doesn't mean, the 80s, that's when I got into Bruce. And Bruce had been around since the 70s. And I didn't really get into Bruce until Born in the USA. And that's when he had, you know, great, Van Halen was going strong. I mean, you had the list. I mean, I don't want to redo the whole thing. But, I mean, yeah, you can find a lot of great music, a lot of great AC/DC. I mean, Pink Floyd, everything. A lot of great music in the 80s. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, it seems like as decades go, it just seemed a little bit, you know, I don't want to rehash that, so I shouldn't even bring it up. Think about Deer. I saw Cyndi Lauper. Days after she released Girls Just Want to Have Fun, there was a beer special at the time. 50 Cent Heineken quart cups. That's a pretty good deal. 50 cents for a quart of Heineken? That's a damn good deal. I would have got fucking plastered shit-faced. Big Hook says, that what image stabilization is for? I think I did have it on whatever stabilization I could get on my phone, and it was still, but it was kind of zoomed in so much. When it's like when it's zoomed in so much, any tiny little movement was kind of blurry, kind of blurry. Blaze Red's channel, gaming channel. Sorry about that. Blaze Red's gaming channel says my top 3 bands of all time are Metallica, Kiss, Black Sabbath. Man, you cannot go wrong with that. Those are 3 fucking heavy hitters there. And I love all 3 of those bands. Believe you me, I do. But my top 3 are probably, well, I always got to put Van Halen at the top. I love Van Halen. And I guess if we just say bands or acts, I'd probably put Bruce too. Bruce and or / E Street Band. I know Tim Farrell might not like that, but I'm kind of just putting those all together. And then third, I'm not sure. I'm not really into rankings because I always change a lot. But I know I really, really, really liked Foghat, where I had every one of their albums. I really love U2. I mean, there's a lot of bands I could put in that third spot. Foghat, U2, Thin Lizzy. I love fucking Thin Lizzy. There's just so many bands that go in that 3 hole. So I don't know. But those are great bands that you have there. You can't go wrong with Metallica, Kiss, and Black Sabbath. If those are the only 3 albums you have, you could live the rest of your life happy. Just playing those guys, so there you go. Philly 3000 says, you had Wham, George Michael. I think George Michael's is an incredible talent, incredible voice. And I like some of his songs, but I'm not really big into that. Andrew Petrie, I love Chumbawamba. Chumbawamba. Is that the one that did I get knocked down, I get up again? Is that the one? I like that song. Don Larry says, think about Dear Man, where was that cool? Philly 3000 about Boy George. Or what about Boy George? Yeah, what about Boy George? Come, chameleon. Mr. Spock is saying, Ozzy. Yeah, Ozzy's cool, man. I like Ozzy. Big Hook says, every song in the 80s sounded different. Not that cookie cutter stuff they often do. Okay. I'm not gonna rehash that whole thing. Ichabod Deer says 40 years ago, and it was good deal then too. Laughing out loud. Oh yeah, even though it was 40 years ago, 50 cents for a quart of Heineken. That was a damn good deal. Mr. Spock says Flock of Seagulls was a good 80s band. I like Flock of Seagulls. See, that's the thing. Here I am. I'm like, Van Halen, Thin Lizzy, Foghat, Aerosmith, AC/DC, Metallica. But I also like fucking Flock of Seagulls. Go figure. Andrew Petrie says, Mr. Spock, I was there in Toronto when Stevie Ray Vaughan opened for Robert Plant. Wow. And I bet you Stevie Ray Vaughan was better. I bet you that was a better show. I like Robert Plant in Led Zeppelin. I saw Robert Plant at the Forum, way after Led Zeppelin. And he was good. He was good. It was a good show. I don't even remember who opened for him. And I think he might have did a couple of Zeppelin songs, but it's mainly just his solo stuff. And he's good, but I think Stevie Ray Vaughan is probably better. The late great. Trying to think where I left off here. Philly 3000, Adam Ant. Adam Ant had some big hits. I remember when Adam Ant wasn't it Adam and the Ants or something like that? And then it sort of just morphed into Adam Ant. And he had a couple of good songs there, I'm trying to think of the song. Tim Farrell says, I was never on the Kiss train. I was disappointed that when they were in my hometown 12 years ago, my friend who does sound and lights And All Gigs here said they lip sync a lot of the parts. Oh, wow. And that sounds weird. Like I've heard Hal talk about how maybe Mariah Carey or something might lip sync a certain part, like a really high section or part, because maybe her voice isn't feeling good that day, and so he was just saying like that's okay or whatever. And I guess it's okay, but I don't really understand why Kiss would do that. They're not singing high Mariah Carey type stuff. You know what I mean? So I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, that is a little disappointing. But I do like Kiss. I like their records and stuff. So Philly 3000 says Idaho Express, yummy yummy. I don't know what that is. Ichabod Deer says, holy crap, the snow ain't letting up here. Wow, it's coming down hard, huh? Philly 3000 says, the Tokens, Lion sleeps tonight. The lion sleeps tonight. They had a resurgence with that song, right? That's a big, like, what, 50s or 60s song? And then Lion King, made that a big hit all over again. Philly 3000 says, remember the Fruity Gum Company, 123 Red Light? I remember the Fruity Gum Company. I do remember them. I don't remember the song. I do remember, but I remember them. Do you have anything else to say about them? Do you like them? Mr. Spock says, Boy George was kicked out of Bow Wow Wow for being too weird. Okay. Bow Wow Wow. Ichabod Deer says, Robert Plant is still winning Grammys. Yeah, I know. I really am not a big fan of his solo career, to tell the truth. I like the Led Zeppelin. As far as I might put Led Zeppelin in that 3-hole. I mean, they're one of the greatest rock bands of all time. I mean, they're almost up there with the Beatles, because really it's sort of like the Mount Rushmore. If you're going to do a Mount Rushmore of rock bands, I mean, I think you got to put the Beatles there and the Stones, and I think Led Zeppelin might be up there too. And then how many heads are Mount Rushmore? Is it 4 or 5? Is it just 4? Who's on Mount Rushmore? It's like Roosevelt and Lincoln and Washington and Jefferson, and then like Woodrow Wilson. No, I don't know, but I mean, I think I got to put Zeppelin on my Mount Rushmore. I mean, they're that great and that influential, and I love Zeppelin. But I'm not a big fan of Robert Plant's solo career. I mean, he had some, I had that, I think one of that first solo album, and it was good, but, what can I say? We like what we like, Philly 3000, I'm pretty sure he was kicked out the Better Places, laughing out loud. Ichabod Deer says, Andrew Petrie, pretty much the only big snowstorm in Vermont this year and last is happening right now. In March. In the last week of March, or I think we're in the last week, and you guys are finally getting a big snowstorm. Our weather is fucked up, right? Our weather patterns and everything are so fucked up. Thank you, global warming. Big Hook says, Mr. Spock, Information Society, what's on your mind? Pure energy. Philly 2000, hey, the Monkees. I like the Monkees, yeah. They had some good songs. And besides being just sort of this goofy, 60s TV era band, they had some good songs. I like them. Tim Farrell says, I saw Guns N' Roses open for the Cult. I was actually working it. And 3 to 4 months later, they were the biggest band in the world. I love Guns N' Roses, and I love Slash, and I love the Cult, too. The Cult is a really great band. And that just takes me back to 1987, when I drove from California out to Las Vegas, New Mexico. Not Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas, New Mexico, I think it's like 1,200 miles or something from where I was at, and something like that, maybe less, maybe it's 1,000, whatever it is. And I drove there, and because I was going to school there, and I had the Guns N' Roses cassette, and I just played that thing the whole way because I loved. I think it was a Sweet Child of Mine, the first, like maybe the first big hit, and it seems like, in my mind's eye, it seems like Guns N' Roses was already a really big band. But I listened to some interviews of people from the band, like on Mark Maron, What the Fuck podcast, and somewhere else, where they were talking about those times when like they weren't really known until they opened for the Stones. And I saw that concert, the Steel Wheels tour, in 1989, I think, or 88 or 89. And so in my mind's eye, though, Guns N' Roses was already huge because I'd been listening to them, and it's funny. I had the Colts cassette too, and I was just listening to those like all the way to New Mexico, and I love those two bands. But to me, it just seems like they were already big. But I remember seeing them open for the Stones at the LA Coliseum. And I don't know, it was just weird. I just thought, oh, Guns N' Roses. And I do kind of remember people going like, who's Guns N' Roses? I'm like, Guns N' fucking Roses, man. They're opening for the Stones. And I actually liked the Guns N' Roses portion better than the Stones. Although the Stones were really, really good. Mick Jagger was awesome. You know, that was a great concert too. But and that was the first and only time I've ever seen the Stones, so I can't really compare them to their heyday. But, you know, this is back in, I think, 89, I think. Was it 89? Somewhere around there. And, but I really fucking dug Guns N' Roses and Slash. It just was amazing. Going off and doing solos. To me, Slash stole the show, you know. But anyhow, I digress. Donald Leary says, Mr. Spock really loved Bow Wow Wow. Wow. Donald Leary Information Society was from Minneapolis. There you go. Represent. Andrew Petrie says, think about dear, go make money like we did as kids, shovel snow. Think about dear... Andrew Petrie, I have a snowblower, thank goodness. Chris says, Tim Farrell, love GNR. Roosevelt. I said Teddy Roosevelt. Or was it both Roosevelts? Were on there. Oh, is FDR on there? So Teddy and FDR? That's not really fair. They made Mount Rushmore and they put two Roosevelts on there. I don't know if that's fair. Is that fair? Where's the good ones like Reagan and Bush? Why aren't they on there? I kid. Just relax. I'm just kidding. Mr. Spock says, isn't Cheech and Chong on Mount Rushmore? They might be on some version somewhere. Ichabod Deer says, glad you said that about weather, Trucker John. Man-made climate change warming never went below 0 Fahrenheit. Ichabod Deer, that's never happened in my lifetime. Yeah, the weather is, we're seeing stuff that, a lot of us are seeing stuff we've never seen in our lifetime. It's fucked up. Philly 3000 says, did you know Charles Manson tried out for the Monkees TV show? I did not know that. That's probably why he went on a killing spree, because he got rejected. Charles Manson was just a little butthurt little pussy because he couldn't, no one would record his songs. He wanted to be a songwriter. He thought he was as good as the Beatles or something, or Mick Jagger or whatever. And he was shit. He was total shit in everything he did. So he made this little cult, and he got off on it because he found some idiots that would adore him or whatever. And so rest in hell. No, not rest in hell. I guess just burn in hell, Charlie. Burn in hell, you motherfucker. Andrew Petrie says, nobody is judging. Okay, thank you. Philly 3000 says, I still have Cheech and Chong albums. I used to listen to Cheech and Chong. I love Cheech and Chong. Basketball Jones. I got Basketball Jones. I got Basketball Jones. Big Hook says, you're welcome, Don. Andrew Petrie, Philly 3000, are you serious? Laughing out loud. Philly 3000 says, yeah, I have them. Andrew Petrie says, I love Lord Such and Heavy Friends just before Zeppelin. Tim Farrell says, I saw Steel Wheels, Tom Petty, and the Grateful Dead in a 4-day span. The Replacements opened for Petty, but the band got into a fight on stage during the first tune and broke up. They were a good band. That's funny, though. That's funny. That's funny history. Funny. That's a, you know. I think I recall the Replacements, too, for something. But, yeah, that's quite a 4-day span there, Tim. Tim Farrell's Screaming Lord Such. Andrew Petrie / steals the show. Trust me. Yes. Yes, Andrew. Absolutely. I that's what I was saying. I mean, nothing against, you know, what's his face? You know, the lead singer guy. And the songs, you know, he I think he writes most of the lyrics. But Slash, because see, I love Eddie Van Halen. I really do. And to me, when I listened to Slash, I was like, this is the closest thing to Eddie Van Halen I've ever heard, you know? But plus Slash is his own thing. And I think Slash is kind of a genius, you know? I really do think he borders on being a genius. Big Hook says, GNR canceled a concert at last minute in Vancouver and fans broke all the windows leaving the stadium. They were pissed, I bet. Philly 3000, Bob Dylan. Philly 3000 is throwing names out. Yeah, Bob Dylan's good. He's got great, iconic songs from the 60s, basically. My favorite is probably not so iconic, but, you know, Knocking on Heaven's Door. I love that song. But, I don't know. I've heard that Dylan's a real asshole. That kind of... Whenever I think of Bob Dylan, I just think of what an asshole he is, but whatever. And he's kind of weird. You know, what's the deal, like, with him, the way he talks? And if you saw stuff when he was younger, you could understand him. He could have a conversation or whatever. And then you see later interviews. It's kind of where I don't think it's because of drugs or age. I think it's because of money. It's like, I think money, we talk about how money turns people into assholes sometimes. I think that's what happened to Dylan. Money and fame. It turned him into this obscure fucking, you know, weirdo. So, yeah, Bob Dylan, great songs, iconic songs of the 60s, for sure. But I've heard he's an asshole, and I tend to believe it just because he just seems like a fucking weirdo. I mean, and it's okay to be weird. It's okay. I'm a weirdo, probably. But when you combine that with being an asshole, you know, I don't know. But yeah, great songs. Tim Farrell says Manson wanted to be in the Beach Boys. Yes, that's right. That's right. Fuck Manson. I hope he's... If there is a hell and an afterlife, I hope he's in extreme pain every second. Mr. Spock says Charlie don't surf. Philly 3000, the FBI formed because of Charles Manson. The FBI was around way before Charles Manson. Think About Deer says, I saw Petty, Dylan, and the Dead together. Great show. Oof. Tom Petty. I love Tom Petty. I love me some Tom Petty. Bob Dylan, like I said, he's good. Good songs, but he's an asshole. And the Dead, I like the Dead, you know. I'm not a Deadhead, but I like the Dead. So I would like the Petty and the Dead part. I probably would like the Dylan part, too. I'm just saying, I just don't like him as a person. I think he's a fucking... I just think he's an asshole. Ichabod Deer says FBI is a lot older than Manson. Yes, I agree with that. I think they were formed to stop bootlegging and the mob from all the bootlegging. stuff in the 20s or whatever it was. Philly 3000. I was on the TV show Wonderama and Bozo and on the Three Stooges cartoon. Well, look at you, all famous and stuff. Look at you on the TV show. I don't remember Wonderama. Now I know Bozo the Clown. I guess he had a show. And the Three Stooges cartoon. You were on the cartoon. How are you on the cartoon? Did they draw you in there? Think about Dear Captain Kangaroo, laughing out loud. I remember Captain Kangaroo and what was it, Farmer John or whatever, or Sheriff John. They had Sheriff John. What was the farmer? Farmer Green Jeans or something. Andrew Petrie says, I saw GNR in Hamilton. Summoned through a light at Axl Rose. He walked off the stage. Slash came back out and played Amran guitar solo for an hour solid alone. My God. See, that's what cool Slash is. See, you had Axl Rose, and I know that, and I think the guy had a lot of problems, and he had a lot of issues, and he had, I think, a lot of abuse as a kid. It led to a lot of things. So, I'm willing to give Axl Rose, some leeway, I guess. And I think he's, as he's gotten older, I think he's cleaned up his act. I think he's learned a lot of things. I think he's been in a lot of therapy. And I think he's actually working on himself. So I'll give him credit for that. But still kind of an asshole, especially back in those days. And then you have Slash, who to me, and again, he might be a big asshole. I don't know. I don't know these guys from fucking a hole in the wall. Hole in the wall? Whatever. Hole in the ground? I don't know. But he seems like a really genuine, cool dude, and I think he's a fucking awesome guitar player. And it just kind of shows his character there. He's like, okay, look, Axl's gone. We got to do something. These people paid good money to be here. And I can only imagine that it was probably, it might have made the show even better. I don't know. But I guess I can't blame him for walking off if someone threw something at him. I mean, that's not right either. No one should be throwing shit at people. And remember last year or whatever it was, it seemed like there was a whole spate of videos coming out of people getting shit thrown on them, like Miley Cyrus and I don't know, it was like Beyonce. All these people were throwing like chains or something, and they would get hit in the face. That's fucked up. So I don't believe in that shit. You don't throw shit at people like that, and especially people who are performing for you and giving you a show. And you're going to throw something at him in the face with it. That's fucked up. So, and if that happened to Axl, I guess I don't blame him for walking off the stage. But to just like not come back, that's kind of fucked up too. So for Slash to do that is just a testament of what a great guy is and a great talent, that he could hold the attention of that crowd by just playing his guitar. So. That's a great story. Thanks for sharing that, Andrew. Joey says, Bob Dylan is a huge dick. My brother loves him. We fight about it. Yeah, see, I think Dylan is a dick. Like I said, he's got some great songs that are iconic. He was a big part of the whole 60s, movement or whatever, kind of the anti-war movement and all that kind of stuff. But he's just a weird dick. Tim Farrell says, Axl doesn't sing so well now, like John Bon Jovi. Worse. Cigarettes and singing are on a collision course that crashes before 50. Joni Mitchell, too. Yeah, I guess I haven't really heard Axl lately. I didn't know John Bon Jovi couldn't sing. I know I've been hearing a lot about Vince Neil, right, from... And I've been hearing about his voice being gone for almost 20 years now. And I always think, well, they're done. I guess they're done, or they must have a new lead singer because they're still touring. And I still hear them touring. And Vince Neil is still out there. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing out there if he can't sing? Because all people do is complain about it, about what a shitty singer he is now. I don't know why he's still out there. I mean, I know it's for money, but who's gonna want to pay to hear someone who can't sing? It doesn't make sense to me. Ichabod Deer says, Dylan was in Traveling Wheelbarrows, was liked in that band, team member. Yeah, probably. He probably was a team member to those guys, to George Harrison and Roy Orbison and Tom Petty and Jeff Miller, no, whatever, Jeff Lynne. You know, like I said, he's a great artist, got some great songs, but that doesn't guarantee you're going to not be a dick, I guess. Andrew Petrie says, I remember Bob in Hamilton wasn't a hit. Really? They didn't like him, huh? Tim Farrell says, I am more fond of Dylan as I get older. So you sort of appreciate him as you get older. I like knocking on heaven's door. I know that's like a commercial thing or whatever, but I like that song. And speaking of GNR, they covered it, right? And they did a really good cover of it. But I like Dylan's better. And see, that's the thing. When I hear that song, to me, it sounds like Dylan sounds like, I don't know, Chris Christopherson or something. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like Dylan. And the funny thing is, that was from the movie Billy the Kid movie. And Chris Christopherson was in that movie, I think, right? And I don't know. It just, the vocal on that doesn't sound like Bob Dylan to me. But it is Bob Dylan. But I'm just saying, and I like that song. Philly 2000 says, I was sitting on the beach when they was doing the cartoon. Really? I don't know how cartoons work, apparently. Philly 5000 says, I think if Buddy Holly didn't die, he would have been bigger than Elvis, and he was almost there. Yeah, well, he was huge when he died. That was the day the earth stood still or whatever, right? That's the saying. That was the kind of the headline, and that's what what's his face put in the song, I think, or did he put that in the song? But you know, the day the earth died or whatever. But he was really, really, really huge. But yeah, it was very early in his career. He only had a couple of hits, I guess. And he was on his way. That's for sure. He was on his way, man. And then that happened. Cut down in his prime. Andrew Petrie, Mr. Green Jeans. Yep, that's what I said, Fred. Donald Leary, Philly 2000, flying to North Dakota. Shit, buddy. Oh, that was when they crashed. Yeah, in the field there or whatever. But didn't they crash in Texas? They're on the way to North Dakota. I think it might have been in Texas. I'm not where they crashed. Big Hook says the old days when they used chicken wire separating the band from the drinking crowd. Nowadays everything is served in solo plastic cups. Ichabod Deer, Jeff Lynne is quite underrated in my humble opinion. I love Jeff Lynne, and I guess ELO is back on the road. I think I saw something about ELO touring. And I think it's been a while, right, since they toured. And I love ELO. I love me some ELO. Maybe I'll go see them. Tim Farrell says, oh my God, YouTube, any Bon Jovi from the last 5 years, it is really sad. Well, I haven't been listening to Bon Jovi in the last 5 years. I didn't even know they were still performing, to tell the truth. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm not watching Bon Jovi YouTube videos. Oh my God. Andrew Petrie says, Axl and AC/DC, what a complete disaster. Oh, that's right, because he was filling in for Brian Johnson, who was having some health issues, right? I think I saw some clips of that, and I thought it was okay. I mean, from the YouTube clips I did see of that, I thought it was all right. I don't know. I didn't hear that was a disaster, but maybe it was. I don't know. Ichabod Deer says, the day the music died. Right. I was trying to say that. I don't know. Maybe that didn't come out right. Donald Leary says, I grew up in North Dakota when I heard about Buddy Holly. I was pissed. Yeah, that must have been a sad, sad day. You had Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper, right? And Richie Valens all died. Yes, there it is. Think about your Richie Valens. And Chris Welch says Don McLean. Yeah, Don McLean, the song. Yeah, thank you. Don McLean, American Pie or whatever. Bye, bye, American Pie. If I sing that, then we're all going to have that song in our heads the whole day, so I better not. Well, it's probably too late. Chris says, I think November Rain was my favorite GNR song. I'm a sucker for piano. That is a very nice song. That is a very, very good song. I like that song too. Andrew Petrie, I love Tangled Up in Blue. Tangled Up in Blue. That's a good one, yeah. Don O'Leary, Andrew, my favorite too. Tim Farrell, like whatever. John. All right, like whatever. Big Hook, Bon Jovi, to his credit, feeds the poor in his restaurant where you can pay what you can. Oh yeah, I remember seeing some posts about that a few years ago. So that is pretty cool. Mr. Spock says the kids in the hall did a recreation of the Buddy Holly plane crash. Apparently, Buddy let a monkey fly the plane, and the monkey didn't have a pilot's license. It's too soon. It's too soon for that kind of humor. Come on, man. Felice, it's only been, what, 70 years? Felice 3000 says, I like B.J. Thomas, Neil Diamond. Well, there you go. Yeah, B.J. Thomas had some big hits there. Neil Diamond, of course, is a legend. Legendary. Andrew Petrie, I guess that's a hug thing. I'm not good at emoji. Hey, there's Midas Kevin Anderson. Says hi. Well, hello, Midas Kevin. Thanks for being here. You were there last night, weren't you, in the chat for that? I think I saw you in there. Glad to see you come by just as we're about to end, because we're at almost 2.5 hours. So I think I was probably going to put this show to bed, as they say in the industry. We've been going at it for 2.5 hours. 21 watching, 50 thumbs ups. Thank you guys so much for those thumbs ups. It's been fun talking to you. We've been talking a lot of music today, which is fun. It's fun to talk about music and not just talk about Trump all the time, or talk about, Trump all the time, or talk about things like, Trump all the time. But I will say this in closing: vote blue no matter who, if you know what's good for you. I guess we'll get a little tiny bit political here at the end. We need to have a big giant blue tsunami coming up here in November. So let's make sure you're registered. Go to vote.org. You make sure you're registered. All that good stuff. And vote. Because, I voted. Look at, I voted. I vote all the time. I've got these stickers all over the place. Make sure you vote. Make sure you're registered. All that good stuff. Let's get the big blue wrecking crew out there. Let's send Trump either to prison or up to obscurity, to the poorhouse. Let's get him in. He can live in a cardboard box under an overpass for all I give a fuck about. All that good stuff. Thanks for being there last night, the people who watched the concert. If you want to watch it again, it's going to be on the replay. It's shaky, it's blurry, not the best sound quality, but it's, I don't know, it's still kind of a fun thing if you like concerts and if you like Bruce Springsteen. And there he is. There's Bruce right there. You can see he's pointing. And he's looking for Trucker John. He's going, Trucker John, I see you. That was actually taken last night at the concert, right there. And he's like, Trucker John. And that's the truth. I wouldn't lie to you. I would not lie to you guys. But anyhow, glad to see you guys here. Kevin, you just got here, but I think we're going to probably put this to an end. I don't want to be here all day. I'm probably going to go, I got to go and drive my Uber now to pay for those tickets I got last night. That I bought. I only bought one ticket, by the way. I don't know why I said tickets. But, I got to pay for this shirt and this hat, so get out there and do some Ubering and look forward to the 10,000 steps a day for 30-day challenge. I guess, I don't know if it's a challenge. On the Las Vegas Strip, I'll be starting that probably next week. We'll do live streaming that. We're going to live stream Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Also on Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And Saturdays, 11-ish a.m. Pacific time. So that's all the things that are going on. Thank you guys so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, super chatting, memberships, all that is so great. You guys are helping to keep this channel going. We're growing, 1,600 strong. We're gonna be at 2,000 before you know it, and we're just gonna keep this Trucker John convoy. Hey, fancy. We're gonna keep the convoy going. Thanks to all the trucklers. And as I was talking earlier, I was standing around for 3 hours. I've been walking, and I was really sore. I feel really sore because I'm out of shape. But I did a little stretching. I did do a little stretching. And so the one thing that I didn't do, I didn't pull a hammy. So stretching's important, folks. Make sure you stretch, get loose, because you don't want to pull a hammy. Nope, you don't. You really, really don't. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Thought it was about time that I show everyone my real, true self. Trucker John is a monkey. There's a taco cat on the dashboard. Hey, it's me again. Ahoy, mateys.